Welcome back to the latest episode of the Key and Mang audio experience. I'm your host, Mang. As always, you're my fellow co-host, Key. Key was Gucci.
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling really rested, so I'm in a good place. How are you?
I don't feel rested with losing that hour, but it is what it is. I'm good. I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna get some ramen today.
there you go. There you go. Look, if you when you come out to LA, we live like right behind this Japantown. So like ramen spots, sushi spots, every block, like every corner. It's like a whole block
I
of
will
just
be on commission.
food. You would love it. Desserts, uh, somi, bread pudding, crepes, boba. You'd have a field day if you like ramen.
Hot take. I don't like crepes.
Okay, that's fine. There's other things.
Hot take. I think that's a hot take.
I don't think it's that hot. But these ones are good though.
Okay. We'll see.
But today we're diving into a question that a lot of people have probably asked themselves at some point. What actually makes someone an expert? Is it degrees, certifications, years of experience, or is it something totally different? So, Key, I'm gonna throw it to
I
you.
think I think that well before I give my opinion, I think back in the day, like years ago, traditionally people thought that expertise really just came down to your formal education. So the longer you've been in school, the more of an expert you are. So if you have a degree, if you have a certain advanced certification, if you have formal training, things like that, years of experience. So the longer you've been doing something, the more of an expert you're perceived to be, and then different certifications and licensing, which I think we're still seeing today. And I think these things still matter in a lot of fields. Like if you want to be a medical doctor, if you want to be a surgeon, a lawyer, a physical therapist, you can't just self-teach yourself those things. But I do think there is a fine line between what makes somebody an expert versus what makes somebody um I guess not an expert in the field. And I think in 2025, there's a lot of gray area just because everybody has the ability to post information on social media, whether it's correct or incorrect, and look like they are qualified or look like they know what they're doing, and it's hard to decipher. So I'm going to pass it to you. And what do you think is an expert before I give my opinion in 2025?
Yeah, so I think like you said, I think it depends on the field. But I think something I look at, I think first of all, is just there has to be like proof of concept. Proof of concept that what you do or what you say you do is 100, like you deliver on what you say you're going to do. So like if you're a surgeon and you perform heart surgeries, I need to know that you've performed more than one heart surgery. I'm not going to be your first one. And like that you have good outcomes afterwards. If you're a fitness coach and you're guaranteeing that I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in 3 months, excuse me, I need to be able to see that you've worked with other people and they've gotten the results, no matter where they're at, whether they're at 400 pounds, 190, trying to get to 160. I need to know that whatever you say you're going to do, you're able to do it, and I have proof that you can deliver on the outcome. I think in the past it might be, oh, I have this title, I have this certification, so you should just come work with me. I think there's just so much of it now. There's so many people in the fields now that you have to be able to discern, all right, who's legit and who's just like talking and who has the actual plan or structure and who is just freestyling this. So I think that's probably one of the things that I look for and what I tell people is like, especially with like medical, if someone's thinking about I want to get injections like bone marrow injections or something, cortisone shot injections. Make sure you trust the person you're going to. Make sure you trust the surgeon you're going to. do your homework on them, ask them questions, don't be afraid to. They should be able to answer them and they should be able to simplify their answers to you because they've been in this field for a long time. They have a lot of experience with it. So they ain't gotta like talk at a certain level just to like make it sound like they know what they're talking about. They should be able to simplify it because this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they know that's not your area of expertise, but they got to be able to simplify it so that you understand and that you both are on the same page as the consumer and as the person providing the service or the product. So those are a couple things that I look for first. And then like obviously if there's qualifications you got to have as a medical doctor, you got to have your MD, you got to, have your PT, whatever. The basics, yeah, you got to have, but then I think there has to be proof of concept and you got to be able to communicate it in a way that's easy to understand and that does not have me or the person looking into it confused.
Yeah, I agree. I think for depending on the field, obviously you need those qualifications, like you said. But then from there, I think you have to pay attention to more because I think we've all met people who have degrees or like very educated in the field, but they're not really good at what they do, right? So I think at that point, I like to see people's thought process. So in 2025, like now with all the content that's being put out there, like I want to see your thought process, whether it's you writing blogs, whether it's you talking, sharing like what you think of certain things, because that gives you insight into like what your relationship would be like with them or what it would be like working with them. So I want to see that. And then I also think having testimonials sure is helpful, but even reviews from multiple different people is really helpful as well. Because you can be the most educated person ever, but if other people aren't recommending you or don't have good things to say about you, I think that says a lot. Right.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I like to see that's what I like to see, and then just your ability to produce whatever result it is you're promoting.
So if let's say you're a content creator, you're a provider, and you're looking to, like, you've put the time in, you know your stuff, you're looking to have people find you and become a authority in the space that you're in, how would you, what would you suggest in terms of being seen as that authority or expert in the field? Like, what do you need to do?
Content creator?
As a content creator, as a like if like someone who knows their stuff and you're trying to get more well known because of the credentials or the experience that you have.
I think being able to share your message instead of one to one and go like one to many is really helpful. So being able to simplify what you worked on with somebody or whatever result you help somebody get and being able to story tell that to many people. I think that's what can help you like get more well known. Um Creating different avenues of delivering your message. So I think blogs, getting on different podcasts, creating a YouTube channel just so people can find one of your things and then kind of binge it. And then that's kind of like they've been talking to you for forever, like working with you. So they can like see how you think, see how you work. I think that's really helpful. And then even I heard somebody say like having a book is a new business card. Like I think that helps to establish credibility as well. And if it is a good book and people have good things to say about that, I think that helps with um, getting your name out there and building credibility and becoming an expert. So those would be like the main things. I think it all comes back to getting your message out there to many people instead of saying, "Hey, I helped 100 people one on one." Nobody's gonna know that if nobody knows you. You know what I mean? So I think it just comes to getting your message out there online in some form.
I
What do
totally
you
agree.
think?
I totally agree. I don't have anything to add. I do have another question for you
Oh, okay.
though. Um, can someone be self-taught and still be an expert?
I think it depends. I think. you can be self-taught in certain areas and become an expert. And the best example I can think of right now is look at all of the things that are happening with like social media and the way things are being marketed now. I feel like if you started studying marketing and like copywriting, you are more of an expert than the professors that are teaching at some of these MBA programs because you have real life experience. You've been like keeping up to date with everything. I think that in that situation, you don't necessarily need the formal education. But if you compare that to somebody who wants to be helping people with their health, like a medical doctor, I think you can't be self-taught in that aspect. Like, yes, you can do a lot of research on your own, but I still don't think it is a substitute for actual clinical experience. So I think it depends on what the field is. Same thing with like fitness. I think there's a lot of people who don't necessarily have like their DPT or their CSCS, but they know their stuff. And you can tell by the type of content they put out, how they explain their thought process, how they program. I think there's a lot of people out there who don't have some of those certifications, but they may get better results than somebody who actually does. And I think the only way to determine that is to be able to put your message out there and let people decide. You know what I mean? Because you can tell when somebody doesn't know what they're talking about in fitness. So I think it depends on the field. So I would say yes and no.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I think it depends on the field as well. I was thinking about like just for our field, like if you're a PT, you get out as a general practitioner, like you know a little bit about everything. But I think as someone like someone like Andy Chen, who is works with people with like mostly chronic pain or like tough diagnosis and have not had any luck. But you hear about what he was doing, how he was grinding, seeing, getting a lot of clinical hours, then like reading a lot, learning from a lot of people, going to a lot of different mentorships and learning from different coaches and trying to use all that together to trying the things that he's learning in the mentorship or in the from his coaches and then applying it to the people that he's working with. And then just being able to use trial and error from there to then create a framework that works for him. But you don't get that framework coming out of school. You get it by actually working with people and figuring out how to apply the stuff that you've been learning on the side. And yes, it's a grind, but I guess you would say now, 4 years later, 5 years later, you would call him an authority in the field just because of the results that he's been able to produce and who he's been able to help and the success that his company has been able to build over the time and the people coming underneath him and his mentorships, what they're doing now. So just think of things like that. Like I think you can be self-taught in certain things, but it comes down to how do you apply the things that you're learning, and is the things that you're learning actually top of the line material? Like, is it actually things that's going to help, or is it just things that you learn just for fluff and you can't apply it to real life scenario? Which I think you need both. You need both to have the ability to understand what the trends are saying or what the research is saying, and then being able to apply it to the person in front of you, and knowing that you could have a textbook case of a situation, and then it does not go according to plan because someone is having a bad day or someone had a unexpected flare up and you have to navigate that. You have this whole plan and then you have to adapt because of the circumstances ahead. So I think you can be taught. I think you can learn a lot from, just having the experience and then learning from people who are already doing things at a high level and then use that to build yourself up in the space. Another example I have is in the like basketball training space. I've been in by any means basketball, his coaching cert, Coleman Ayers, his coaching cert, and I think he's one of the best trainers in the game in terms of incorporating like the science and skill acquisition and then like creativity and allowing people to explore what they can do on the basketball court and then combining the two together. Plus how he's able to explain different concepts on YouTube or in the coaches cert. Like it's simple, it's easy, and you see how it translates to like basketball performance or creating better movers or better improving skills. So I think it's kind of the same thing as like you get a lot of information. He has a background in strength and conditioning, and then diving into skill acquisition, psychology, skill development. He has a book also, Deep Skill, if you guys are curious and want to learn more about skill acquisition. I think that's a great book. But I think now seeing that he is able to like seeing how he's been able to utilize all the stuff he's learned over the years and put it into a course, and it's easy to trust. It's easy to buy because I've watched so much of his content over the years. I've gone to his conference. I've gone to one of his conference. I've read his book. Like it's easy to trust because I know the dude's entrenched in the field and he's always adapting, always learning, and that's the kind of people that you're looking for. Not like stuck in your ways, but you know that as people change, as times change, information is going to change. So you got to change with it. I think if you calling yourself an expert and you think you know everything, you're crazy. It's because things are going to change. Things are always going to change.
I agree. So basically, would you say that you can you can be self-taught but build off of the knowledge you got formally?
Yeah, I think you have to have the basics. I think you have to have the basics before you can even think about trying to build on top of that. It's like if you're trying to build a house and your foundation is not sturdy, then your whole thing's gonna come crumbling down as you build more on top of it.
Right. Or even like I've seen and I might be wrong, but I don't think I am, but what's his name? Wesley Wang, he does like ACL
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I look at his stuff a lot for like treatment ideas. And I was showing one of my coworkers and they were like, does he have his OCS? And I'm like, I don't know and I don't care. Like that don't make like that don't make him any less credible. Like, and I bring that up to say I think as a physical therapist, you may have like a very specific interest in one diagnosis or one body part. And I think you can be an expert once you get enough like hours under your belt dealing with that one thing, as opposed to going the route of, oh, let me get a board cert and then just say I know everything, but that doesn't make your treatment style or your clinical care any better than somebody who doesn't have that certification but has more experience and has like put more effort into learning about that specific thing than you.
I
Because I was
agree.
curious. I was like, wait, does he have his OCS? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna look at his page because I think his stuff makes a lot of sense. And sometimes it's stuff I haven't even thought about.
Hmm. I don't think he has OCS.
And I don't think he should get it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was gonna say I just think it's interesting how people like some people still have the like traditional view of needing specific certifications to be an expert when really all you need is the DPT and then time with whatever you're interested in to become an expert.
Yep. I agree.
So
I
I thought that
agree.
was interesting.
So let us know your guys' thoughts. Can someone be self-taught, still be an expert? And what does an expert mean to you? What are you guys looking for when you are looking for someone to help teach you something or learn something new, invest in a new skill? What are you guys looking for? Let us know in the reviews. Let us know in the comments. Leave us 5 stars if you're on YouTube. Like, subscribe. We appreciate it. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.